There is this game called Night Shift, where you play as an office worker who has to clean up after your co-workers who have all been possessed by demons. It's a point-and-click adventure game that's part of a larger universe. There are other games like it in the same style, but Night Shift is the only one with voice acting. And to say that the voice acting is good would be a huge understatement. Unfortunately, Night Shift never got a proper ending. The developers weren't able to finish it for reasons I'll get into later. But what I love about Night Shift is that even though it was abandoned, it still feels complete. I can fire up the game years after it came out and play it as if nothing ever happened. Sure, there's some minor bugs here and there, but nothing that makes the game unplayable. And so today I want to do something a little different. I want to show you how the game works by showing you a full playthrough. This isn't something I normally do. I'm usually more focused on the development side of things rather than just playing the game. But Night Shift is so unique and special to me that I really wanted to share it with you guys and show you why I've been so excited about it for so long. So grab a coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, let's start from the beginning. You awaken in your bed to the sound of your alarm clock. Your boss, Mr. Weimer, is waiting for you at your desk. He's been waiting for you because he has something very important to tell you. See, the executives have decided that starting immediately, you will no longer be paid by the hour. Instead, they'll be paid a flat rate for cleaning up the office after everyone leaves work for the day. To demonstrate what he expects of you, Mr. Weimer shows you around the office, pointing out the areas that need to be cleaned. The checklist starts small, getting a coffee pot ready for the next day, disposing of the garbage, what quickly becomes more gruesome. Cleaning up blood from the bathroom sink, wiping down walls covered in flesh, sweeping up organs and teeth from the floor. After the demonstration is over, you head home. The next morning, you come back to the office to find that everyone is missing. All of their desks are completely empty, but there are signs that they may have left in a hurry. Their chairs are overturned. Papers are strewn across the floor. Pencils are snapped in half. Of course, this is exactly what Mr. Wiener expected. He thanks you for coming in and says he'll see you next time. And with that, the night shift begins. Your first task is to figure out what happened to everyone. Why did they leave? Where did they go? Who knows? But fortunately, they left behind plenty of documents that describe exactly what happened. As you read through them, you learn that everyone was infected by a demon named Toby. The documents also explain that to beat the game, you have to destroy 3 artifacts hidden somewhere in the building, which coincidentally happens to be the checklist that you're given at the start of each night. But just when things start to feel like they're going well, you hear chains dragging metal moans, and you know whatever you do, you can't stay in that room. Suddenly, lights flicker, the door slams shut, and the game turns into an intense escape sequence. You gotta move fast. You got TA dodge obstacles, and you got TA hope that the animation doesn't skip, or else you will get squished into a pen. Once you reach the end of the hallway, you safely enter another room and breathe a sigh of relief. However, that sigh of relief only lasts until you realize that you're trapped in a room with a one-way mirror directly across from a security office. Yep, you guessed it. You're being watched. In fact, there's someone right behind you. It's Mr. Weimer. Well, not exactly. It's actually a bloodied, mangled version of Mr. Weimer, possessed by Toby. The monster lunges at the mirror and you barely make it out alive. Just when you think things can't get any worse, the lights turn off and you're plunged into total darkness. You frantically stumble around until you find an exit. And as soon as you step outside, you hear a voice saying, "Game over! Try again!" Now, depending on what route you take, you can either try again or quit. If you quit, you lose. But if you try again, well, the game will simply start over. That's right. Night Shift is a roguelike. Not everything is randomized, but each run is slightly different. For example, In my last playthrough, I found a note that told me to flip the breaker box switch at the end of the second hallway. Normally, that switch doesn't exist. I don't know why it was there, but that allowed me to get further into the game than usual. But eventually, I ran out of health and died again. This time, the screen didn't say game over. It said continue and showed me the option to load a previous save file. Since this is a night shift playthrough, not a let's play, I'm not going to waste your time watching me die over and over again. Instead, I loaded up a save file from earlier in the game and continued my quest to find out what happened to this place. You'll spend the first night doing research, trying to learn more about what happened here and what you can do to stop it. This leads to the discovery that Toby entered the building at around 3 a.m. Armed with this knowledge, you can set your own schedule for the following nights, choosing to start work early or late, but also risking running into the monster early or giving it more time to grow stronger. I chose to start early because I figured I could take advantage of Toby being weaker, and also had the added benefit of giving me more time to explore the building before the power went out. I made my way through the first few rooms and picked up more items to add to my arsenal. Each room is filled with clues about what happened to the previous employees and what their obsession with Toby means. You'll discover that the story of Night Shift takes place within the larger story of the Back, a mysterious labyrinth of empty office space where the walls are carpeted and the floors are made of tile. Like Night Shift, the Backrooms is its own thing, but it's existed for much longer. There are hundreds of stories already written about it. The wiki is almost 60,000 words long. There's even a documentary made about it. So far, Night Shift has only released 2 episodes, but they're working on a 3rd and final episode. The game is still in early access, which means it hasn't been fully released yet. According to the creators, the final episode will conclude the story and finish the game. However, there's no telling when or even if that'll happen. According to the Steam Store page, the game came out in 2019, but that's not quite accurate. Since the game went through a massive redesign, the current form of Night Shift is only about 40 hours long, but that can vary based on your skill level. A big problem with Night Shift is that it requires a lot of work to be put in to keep it afloat. That's part of the reason the developers stopped releasing updates. Another reason is that Night Shift uses Unreal Engine for an outdated engine that's becoming less and less supported every year. The team behind Night Shift is pretty small, just 2 people. They want to finish the game, but they can't do it unless they have the resources to support themselves. Fortunately, they've launched a Patreon account and are now accepting donations. If you want to play Night Shift, it's available on Windows, Mac, and Linux. On top of that, you can play the demo for free on the game's website. The demo is short and sweet. It gives you a taste of what Night Shift is like. But if you want to play the full game, it's going to cost you $20. Personally, I think it's worth it. Night Shift is unlike any other game I've ever played. It blends elements of a horror, storytelling, and an authentic retro. Look at the early internet. With each new playthrough, you get a deeper understanding of what happened here. And although it may seem impossible, you might actually stand a chance against Toby. Good luck!